Hi, this is Melanie of Pardesi Reviews, and I'm here to do a film review of the classic Rajinikanth film, Mullum Malarum. If you're new to Pardesi Reviews, I do trailer reactions and film reviews of Indian cinema. I had not seen this Rajinikanth classic film. I think the earliest Rajinikanth film I've seen is Talapati. This film is part of Simply South, the streaming services Throwback Thursday program that they're doing. It's re-released. It was such a clean, crisp print. But the exciting thing is that they commissioned Rekhs, my favorite subtitlist, the queen of subtitles, to do new subtitles for the film. Now, sometimes these classic films are available on YouTube, but they may not be subtitled, or the songs may not be subtitled, and I was excited to be able to watch a classic film, a Rajinikanth breakthrough film, a milestone film for Rajinikanth, with Rekhs subtitles, her poetry for the songs. I can't even imagine watching this film and not being in on the joke of the lyrics of the wedding song between Rajinikanth and Jayalaxmi, who plays his wife, to not have the beautiful poetry of the song after Shoba gets the proposal from Kumaran. Wow, it was so wonderful. I know Rajinikanth. I have been watching his films in theaters, so I know the Rajinikanth, the superstar Rajinikanth, of the cigarette tricks, of the stylized movements. I mean, I love it. He's a megastar. And Talapati was one example, the Mani Ratnam film, showing me, I always knew he was a great actor, but wow, was that film amazing. But this film is evidently, he had played several supporting roles as a villain, and then this director, Mahendran, this is his debut directorial film. He had been a screenwriter, but this was his big directorial debut. And he hired Rajinikanth for this part of Kalki. And I frankly cannot imagine any other person playing Kalki. It just is a prideful man, but a man of deep emotion and a heart of gold in his relationship with his sister Valli, played by the luminous Shoba. And oh my gosh, I looked up, besides Rajinikanth, I didn't know any of the other actors and actresses really in this film. I thought Shoba looked very young and naive, and she just had this freshness about her. But to learn that she was only 16 or 17 years old when they made this film, what? And she committed suicide? What a loss. Oh my God, she was just such a talent in this film. She had so much expression in her face and natural acting. That's what I really came away from. I mean, everyone in this film had much more natural style acting. I think this Mahendran film was known for being kind of groundbreaking, and he wanted to make it different from the kind of Tamil films that were being produced at the time. Now, I have to admit, to me, this film, a 1978 film, still seems relevant and modern today. It has in a way, a simple story based on, I think, a serialized novel. It's natural style of acting, and it doesn't have a lot of big, huge dance numbers. I mean, it has iconic songs, but evidently films of that previous to this were very dialogue heavy, and he wanted to show with film, show the story visually as well. And so much of the acting of Rajinikanth and Shoba especially there's no words, but they are giving so much information to us about their relationship to each other, how they feel about other characters in the slightest, subtlest little looks and acknowledgments. And oh my God, Rajinikanth is just such a master of changing his expression. And the music, The music, not only the songs themselves, now you have to realize, you know all these songs, they're classic songs that you've probably heard 1,000 times. But for me, all of these songs were new to me, and each one was a delight. And also just the background score gave so much. I think in particular of one particular scene where, we've had the background that Kalki and Valli, brother and sister, have been orphans, child performers. Oh my gosh, the child actor that they got to play the young Rajinikanth Kalki part had just as much fire and anger in his eyes. However old that little kid was, he was amazing. He was only in it for a few moments, but still had an impact. We know that they have this close bond together. And then there's a scene where Kalki is angry at something that his boss, played by Sarath Babu, has done to him, and he takes it out on his sister when she brings him his lunch at work. So there's just this ominous music. In another film that might have just slid by as a moment, he just tossed the tray, in her face. But then later we see how momentous it was, because Rajinikanth breaks down when he comes to her in apology, because that's the first time he's ever struck her, and the first time he's lashed out at her in anything like that way, and he's begging for forgiveness. So then we see that ominous music really matched how important that moment was. I mean, that's just one little example of just how the music melded so well with the story, and also told us things that even the dialogue wasn't necessarily giving us clues about. I just was blown away by the performances of Rajinikanth and Shoba especially, but I have a special place in my heart for Jayalaxmi as manga. I loved her relationship with Rajinikanth, how it changed over time, how, if you know me, you know I like a feisty heroine, and oh my gosh, she was standing right up to him. You're going to marry off your sister to this loser? I don't think so. I'm organizing this whole town, and we're going to make the wedding happen that should happen. Loved that. And she was willing to, it's kind of left open in at the end. She stands up to him and says, okay, I know because I've done this, you're going to kick me out of the house, but I don't care. It was worth it. I'm not going to see you ruin your sister's life. I know we have stories like this anymore. I mean, this writing of this story was so compelling. The characters they were complex people, all of them, and the relationships, and just Kalki's characterization of this man, so full of pride, so full of ego, and when he goes through all these things and losing his arm, and he hasn't just lost a physical part of himself. He has lost part of his psyche, part of his ego, part of what makes him a man, and how he deals with that and how he lashes out. Oh my gosh. So much there to this movie. I can see why this was such a classic. It's interesting to me reading about it that it wasn't necessarily an immediate hit. It was a little bit of a slow burn, and then word of mouth built up about this film and about his performance, and then it was a huge success. And I am just so pleased that I had a chance to watch it, and that it was, especially with these new subtitles, to really enhance my enjoyment of the film. So thank you, Simply South, for doing this Throwback Thursday. What a fun idea to give a fresh look to a classic film like this. And oh my gosh, Rajinikanth, he's the king. I did enjoy everyone else. Like I said, Sarath Babu, I think this is the first time I've seen him. He was great too. I can't even minor players. Everyone was so good. Let me know your thoughts about this film, your memories of seeing this film. I think it's absolutely tragic that both of the main actresses in this film committed suicide in 1980. What a loss of talent. I did read in a 2018 interview, Rajinikanth said that he thought his favorite actress that he had worked with was Jayalaxmi. And I just thought they had something great together, this great chemistry together. And interestingly, I have not seen any of Mahendran's other feature films that he's directed, but in looking him up on Wikipedia and so forth, I realized he has acted in and had cameo appearances in several films that I've seen. Sitakati, Terry, and Pet Death, the Rajinikanth film. I'm learning that he is one of the finest directors in Tamil cinema. Looking forward to seeing more of his work because, wow, it was amazing. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. Follow me on Twitter at PardesiYT. Subscribe here to Pardesi Reviews. And if you hit the bell and subscribe, you'll never miss another trailer reaction or film review.